All right, y'all. S10 body drop part 9. Hang on, let me get up here a little closer. See how dirty my face is. Had to take some duals off a tractor today at work, so we got filthy. Me and Chandler's out here tonight. It's about 9 o'clock.
Roughly.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but we're working on the dash, and I'm gonna fall over this metal before I get this intro filmed. Today I was out here for a little while before I had to go to work, and I got the dash tack welded together, so it's not in 2 pieces anymore. Figured out how long it needed to be, cut it best I could. It's got a slight little dip right in the center where the weld is, so what'd you say? Cave it and pave it?
Cave it and
Cave it and pave it with some body filler. And right here, we started putting the ends on a minute ago, and I realized that we hadn't been filming, so we stopped to shoot y'all an intro. Also, in the last video, I told y'all like 3 times I was going to tell y'all the guy's name that told me the vintage air stuff. His name was Mike Boone. The bagboard, he gave me all the info. Shout out to you, because I ordered everything that you got, and it looks like it's going to work perfect. So I appreciate that more than you know, because that kept me from spending days and hours and weeks digging through magazines or books and trying to figure out what I needed. So thanks. But this dash looks like it's going to go in pretty good. Y'all saw the gauge cluster and all that stuff the last time. Now we actually have to put it in the truck. We already done all that to make the gauge fit, and we don't even have it mounted in the truck yet. So, what about your Ranger?
Hey, I've got it somewhat. No, not somewhat. It's not even somewhat. It's drivable.
He drove it here tonight, actually.
And it did wonderful. So we're going
to the tire up before you left?
I did not. It's probably out there flat right now. But we got it halfway decent tune on it, and we bat on the end of that.
Give that guy a shout out again, the tuner.
Jeff Esteban.
Yeah, that dude has been severely patient.
We've been working on it for 4 months. Every time we've got a decent tune on it, something's broke. Y'all know that. And,
or he put the fuel pressure gauge on the return
line. Yeah, it's been a bunch of... It ain't even been like mechanical failures. It's just been me doing stuff wrong.
It's just been failures on Chandler's part.
Yeah, so I've figured this motor out.
He's almost got it wheeled.
Almost.
So he's a lot closer to driving a mini Nats right this minute than I am. So props to him. But we're gonna get back to work on this dash, and once we get it figured out how we're actually going to put it in and mount it, then I'll show you. I don't feel like y'all want to watch us struggle for 2 hours trying to figure out how to mount it. So I got a pretty good game plan, but let's see if we can execute it. So. Ready, break.
That was good. Now I gotta have a transition. We put it in a truck and then clap again.
All right, so we're working on getting this dash mounted. Before we stick it up here, kind of want to show you what we did. This is the edge of the door jamb. So we've got 2 Allen head bolts in there. I may go swap these out, so I was telling Chandler, for some stainless ones or something that looks a little better. But we just got a piece of 4-inch wide, a 6-inch long, 1/4-inch flat plate. And then we drilled the bolts. Oh, sorry. My phone told me low battery. Anyway, we just drilled the holes all the way through. This is going to weld to the firewall on the C10 or S10. C10. And then also there, the factory mount for the lower mount for the dash. We made this tab. This actually sits on top of it. And then we got a tab with a 3/8 bolt in there. We're going to stick it on there and show you what it looks like. And, trying to keep it as simple as we can, yet serviceable and effective, and yeah, that's what we're coming up with. All right, so what you saw was the 2 bolts that went through here. The Allen heads, they stop right at this, and I just got the piece of the factory door seal, put in there and made sure they cleared, and it kind of hides them, so that worked out really great. But this is, like I said, a piece of 4x6, 1/4-inch, and it's welded to the firewall. I can't get in here, just not possible. But it's welded on one side. It's pretty stout. And then we got 2 bolts there. And then the factory mount that I was talking about a while ago, we got 2 bolts in here, and then it comes down, and we got a tab welded off here for a 3rd bolt on this side. We're going to pretty much try to mimic that on the other side. And once we do, the main part of the dash will be mounted, and we can come back in and start filling in the holes around the edges and get all that in. And then, like I said in the last video, I want to tie the bottom of the dash into this, and I also want to triangulate this up to here to keep this from flopping. I don't want the dash flopping when you're going on the road. I put a 62 Impala dash in my dually about 10 years ago. It's It's actually the first and only dash swap I've ever done. This is my second. So, and it was 10 years ago since I've done one. But anyway, I put it in there, and you get up 65, 70 mile an hour, you hit a bump, the dash kind of rattles and moves around a little bit. And it's welded all the way across under the windshield, so it's non-removable. And I don't like the way I did it, so that's why we're trying to do this one different, just to make it serviceable and make it easier to work on if we have to, and yeah, just trying to do better. So I got Chandler over here. He's welding the dash up for me. We got the last piece in. We're just tacking it all the way around. We're gonna grind it down smooth, and this end will be done. We can move on to the other end. And here's the mount I was talking about for the lower one, the factory one. And then your 2 bolts go inside, and that's it. Tell them hey.
Hello. Had to bring out the big gun.
Oh yeah, my Milwaukee grinder that got burnt up.
Thanks, Dan.
It came in today, and I'm still using the Harbor Freight. Too damn cold outside for it to get hot.
Said it is 37 degrees right now.
Man,
Huh?
man,
Right now.
It's supposed to be 22 in the morning. We live in South Georgia, bro. We don't do 22 degrees.
What did you say? We tropical people.
Yeah, I like shorts and t-shirts. And I gotta move tractors in the morning.
I mean,
At 7:30, I'm gonna be out there in that crap, moving tractors, strapping them down on trailers.
I'll be at work in the shop with the heater going.
I'm going to heater right now. Alright, let's turn this on. There we go. We got it ground down a little bit, but I don't want to grind it all the weld off. And then right up in here, we're going to have to add sheet metal to it, so there's no point in getting all that perfect. But I think Body Man, we can wipe that a little bit, and she'll look good.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to weld it on the backside too. We ground that down before we weld it on, but we ain't welded it yet. So probably have to hit this again a little bit after we weld the backside, make it look good again. But yeah, it's going. So far we've had to cut this, and then we welded it right back in because we're idiots. And then we had to notch this. We had to section the dash, split it in the middle, and narrow it a bunch. I don't know the exact number. We had to take a little bit off of the bottom of this to so the door would open right. It was also cracked here and here. And then cap the ends, and there's been a bunch of work went into this dash so far, and it's still not in the truck.
Hey, he's getting a vision now, though.
Yeah, it's y'all can see what we're trying to do now. So. Is that the dog, or is that my kid? That was the doggy.
That was the dog. 2 of them.
All right, y'all. Me and Dan's out here today. We still working on this dash. Got it mounted. Showed you on the other side what we did. This side we just done the same thing. We capped it. Got 2 bolts going through there. And then I've got a piece of that plate welded. 2 bolts on the back side. I haven't put the bottom piece on this side yet. That side's bolted up, and that dude is super solid. I mean, like, no flex at all. The only thing that's moving is just a little bit up here at the top, but we're fixing to take care of that. We start cutting some patch panels and get that fitting. Where's that patch panel I just made? All right, so got a piece of cardboard here. And here's what we're going for. Let's see. How did this fit? Like this. Okay. We're going to butt it up to this. Well, the panel moves. Anyway, we're going to butt it up to this panel right here. And just bring it around. And then we want it flush here. We don't want to just overlap it. So what I'm going to do is make this panel and then go in, cut this piece out, and tack weld this in. Fill that gap in, and we're just going to do that process on the other corner. And then once we get that done, we'll probably do 2 more or 1 long one, I don't know yet, to go all the way across, and then that'll be situated. There's a channel right here that we want the sheet metal to sit in, and I've got some trim, like what's that stuff called, door edge trim?
I have no idea. Talking about the stuff that Chandler put on his truck?
Yeah. Chandler's got some trim around the hole in his bed. I got some of that stuff from him that I'm going to, if I need to, I'm going to line the front of this dash where it goes in there so it's not metal on metal, like flopping, making noise when you're going down the road. It'll basically be cap and rubber going in the metal instead of 2 pieces of metal in there framing around. So that's the plan anyway. Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah. Send help. We only have like 93 more days. Tell me when you're ready.
Yep.
Alright, so we got these filler panels built all the way across. Fits right under there. It ain't the most beautiful thing, but when Chandler gets done doing body work, it will be.
When Chandler gets done doing it.
When Chandler gets done doing it. Alright, so we're going to spend the next hour or 2 tacking. Wish us luck. Yeah, all of us out here tonight. Even Kira's here tonight, hanging out with us. That's not nice. So the original hole was kind of messed up because of the 2 sides. So we just shaved it. Put a filler in. I got a radio. Be here tomorrow for this. And I got some AC vents somewhere. When I find them, I'll show you. We got to fit a radio and an AC vent in there somehow. I don't really know how, but we're going to try. Got one goes here. One here and one here, but I don't know if they're going to fit or not. Might be ordering something else off eBay. All right, so I got this centerpiece shaved. Supposed to have the radio tomorrow. Buying that from our buddy Doug. That's the guy that Dan bought the bed and the doors from. You saw him a few videos back. He's been on a cross-country trip, so we had to wait on him to get home to get the radio. We're going to put it in here, but I also ordered, I'll find them here. I ordered some AC vents off of Amazon. When they got here, the vents don't move. I'm not real happy about that, but it is what it is. I ordered these they come from a company called Old Air Products. It's louvered round chrome 2-inch inlet, so 2-inch ductwork attached to the back of it. I got 3 of them, and they were $71.28 shipped. That's a lot of money for that little piece of plastic. But before I go and drill a bunch of holes in my dash, I only got 3 of them because I only got 3 outlets on my vintage air. So we're gonna put one here, one in the center somewhere, but don't know till I get the radio, and then one over there on that side. But before I drilled a bunch of holes, I come over here and drilled me one on a test panel, and I was kind of nervous. But this is where's the size? I was unprepared for this part. 2.5. There it is. 2.5-inch hole saw, and then I had to take my little air sander and deburr it, and it fit right in, and beautiful. So the back just screws off, and then the front's threaded, and super easy. Fancy. Not really. But that's what I got. That's what we're going to install. So let's go drill some holes in the dash.
Ooh.
You want to do it?
No. Not really. That's a hole. Wow, what a hole.
Hang on just a second. I'll show you a hole. Wait,
Huh?
let me hold that camera and bend over.
What?
Oops, I forgot you were sitting there.
I thought she was about to puke.
Are you still filming?
Yeah. They gotta hear this.
If I was ever in a horror movie, that would be the sound I made as I walked up. Wow.
Now that's a
It's
hole.
not pretty. It's okay. I got something for that, though. So me and my minis out here tonight. It's Friday night. Jeff's coming over in the morning. We all gonna jump on his black truck, try to get that final push to get it out of here. Probably by the time that you see this video, that video will have already been posted. So here's where we're at right now. Got the dash mocked up. Got all this in, glass. Got the 2 gauges. My temperature gauge came in yesterday, but I'm not gonna put it in yet. I got this shaved. KK's on the way with the radio that we got from Doug.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I got 2 AC vents in last night, and I'm waiting on the radio to get here so I can figure out how I'm going to fit all of it in this little spot. This glove box is kind of hard to open. I ordered a new push button for it. It'll be here next week.
How much was that?
Like $25.
For the button?
Yeah, for just the button. Not the whole glove box, just the button. So, anyway. So, what we're doing right now is me and the little one just hung the vintage air stuff back in the truck. And we're going to mock up the radio and the other AC vent tonight. Put the defrost vents back in. And then hang it back in the truck. Get everything all mocked up. And then we're going to take this truck down off jack stands tonight. And
Yay.
pull it out. So that we can put Jeff's truck inside. Because the high tomorrow is like 40 degrees. And I don't want to be outside in the cold all day working. So we're going to get this out. Pull Jeff's in. Probably put it on blocks like this, and where we can get up under it and get started on that guy. So I'm sure by the time this, like I say, by the time this video comes out, you'll be already saw that because we're gonna film it too. So, and while we're doing all that, what are you doing?
Staying inside.
Going to the movies?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll be in the heater.
Yeah. All right. We'll show you what it looks like inside the truck in a few minutes. And hopefully we'll have the radio and all in by then. So give us a few minutes.
I thought it was blue.
That's because you're colorblind. All right, so we got this truck ready to get off the stand so we can roll it out and do Jeff's truck. And decided we're going to go ahead and drop this rear frame so we can sit the bed on it, see what it looks like. We got to do this just like the frame horns because the very rear cross member of the bed is still in the factory location. So we got to body drop the rear frame 3.5 inches to match the rest, and that way when we put this Blazer bumper on the back, it'll line up too because it's moving all the mounts down. It's got an inner and an outer mount. That mount's probably going away because it goes way too far. It actually comes all the way up to here, and there's no way to drop this down with this 6-link. So yeah, let's hack it off. You ready? No? Dan said I'm going to bed. No, don't mess him up. He don't rail that much. That's Dan welding. Y'all ever seen Dan weld? The only thing I've ever seen Dan weld was that front clip to that table over there.
Do I go like on the side? Do I go bottom to top?
I always go down.
You always go down?
Yeah.
Downhill.
I mean, if I was welding a log trailer together, I'd go uphill, but that was bright even through my phone. You don't know shit about welding, baby? Not bad, sir. All right, y'all. Let's fast forward probably 2, possibly 3 weeks since the last thing you saw just in. Been knocking out some customer stuff. We done Jeff's truck. We done the van. Lowered a couple trucks, and I got a couple days to work on the S10. So far, since the last clip, I've done a couple things that I didn't film. I was just kind of in here working when I had a few minutes and got some stuff done, and I'm gonna catch you up real quick, show you what all I've done. So first things first, I got the dash finished up. Got the vents in. I found out that they actually do move. I had the nut on the back so tight that the centers of the vents wouldn't move, but they do actually move. I told y'all earlier they didn't. And I also got my radio Frenched in. This is a Rockford Fosgate, part number PMX-2. I bought this from Doug. This is actually for like a, hang on, I had a piece of metal stuck to my foot. This is for like a side-by-side, four-wheel or whatever. It's Bluetooth, waterproof. I just didn't have enough room to run a regular style radio in here, and this is color screen. It's 4-channel, 50 watts a channel, so pretty much just like a regular radio. If you've been watching the channel for a while, I done a 88 to 98 truck a while back. We narrowed the rear on it for my buddy Charlie Cochran. That's the one we done the 24x12s on the back of. He had one of these in his dash, and I really liked it. And that idea has kind of just been in the back of my head ever since then. So I hit him up the other day, got some info from him, and turned out Doug had one just like the one that he had. Give him like $200 for that guy, and bought it. We mounted it the same way we mounted the gauge cluster and all. We just put tabs on the back. Let me see if I can turn this over without dumping it off. No, I can't. I'm not even going to try. So, anyway, that's mounted. The middle AC vent's in. Looking at it now, I kind of wish I would have put the radio at the top and the vent at the bottom, but it's done now, and it's going to be fine. So, and next, started building my AC lines for the vintage air. I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to put the part numbers to every piece of vintage air that I bought for you, so you'll have them. I'm trying to explain them as I go, as I use them, show you what they do. But let me show you these part numbers real quick. All right, that's all the part numbers that I bought. I bought every bit of that from Summit. I had it in 2 days, and it was a hair of $1,400. So far I got some lines mocked up here. They're just stuck in. I haven't had them crimped yet. They come over to the dryer. I've just got it sheet metal screwed to the core support. This line goes to the inside, then it comes off here, goes to the bottom of the condenser, which I've got mounted in the front. The top line comes off, goes to the bottom side of the compressor, which is the discharge side. And then the big line here goes to the firewall, which is the suction side. Both your field caps are here, and then this is an adapter that goes on the back of the stock compressor, so I can use it. For the condenser, what I ended up doing is there was a factory screw right here that went in here to hold this bracket on. I took it off, took the screw out, and there was a clip also on it. I don't see the clip, but oh, there it is. There was a clip behind this, and that's what the screw screwed into. I took both of those out, and I just put a long bolt. You can't see it, but it's up under. Well, it's because the radiator's in the way. There's a long bolt that goes through here, holds that in, and I took this bracket off, and there's a bunch of different mounting holes around the perimeter of this thing, top and bottom. Up here, I just come in from the back side, marked it, and behind this bracket is another bracket. This core support here, it just kind of comes up and goes up behind it and connects back to the top. I drilled a hole on each side that lined up with the 2 holes up there, so it's got 3 bolts holding it in. It's not going anywhere. It's super solid. And then I put the hood latch bracket back over it. I did have to notch out right here a little bit. They would actually fit without notching them out, but it was kind of a pain in the butt to get them started. So I just took a little body saw there, notched around them, and yeah. So far, that's all the extra that I've got done that I haven't showed you. Like I said, I got 2 days to jump on this here. First things first, I'm going to get the bench seat out tonight. I'm going to mock it up and trim what I have to trim off it, in hopes that tomorrow morning, if it's not still raining like it is right now, I can take that to the upholstery shop and drop that off so I can get that recovered. And that'll be one less thing off the list. And my list is quite long over there on the board. It's about all the way down and about halfway down again. So we still got a bunch to do. Short time to do it. Let me quit rambling and get back after it. All right, you saw in other videos, we had to tub this floor for the drive shaft and the transmission. The edge of the seat is about right where this drop off is. I dropped that as low as I could possibly get it without it trying to touch the drive shaft. That way it would have more seat clearance. The back is really tall. So I got the seat out a while ago, and I just made some small notches in it just to see if it would work, and it is still a long way from working. So I cut, this was just a piece of channel like this. I just cut a little section out. This actually looks like it would almost clear now, but it's still hitting. I stuck it in there and put the nuts on, and I could get both the nuts on, but it still wasn't all the way down flat, like it wasn't sitting flat. So there's a hook right here, and what that is this cable goes in the hook, and it hooks over here, and it's got a little spring that goes around and holds it all together. I'll show you that. I'm going to cut this piece out, but I'm going to cut this off first, and I'm going to relocate it down to this piece of metal, because I'm going to try to keep this piece. And then I'm going to take a little bit more off of here. And then when my guy does the seat, whatever he needs to do to make the cover go on, you know, cool. This has got the holes right here where the hog rings go in. I may drill him some holes down here, or let him drill some holes. That way he can bring the seat cover down to there to clear, and then back up. So I'm just gonna make it fit, and then I'll take it to him and see what he thinks and what I need to do different. But this seat's got a bunch of these I guess what you call springs here that holds the cushion up. A bunch of them on this side's rusted into and broke. So I'm hoping he can fix that. If not, we're gonna have to try to find a different seat. But this seat sits so good, so that might be why, because all the springs were broke. So I'm gonna just get it over there to him tomorrow, hopefully, and see what he says, and we'll go from there. Well, I was out in the shop last night. I chopped that stock bench seat all up. Couldn't really get it to work. I cut pretty much all the structure out the center, and it was still hitting. And it was hitting bad enough that you couldn't slide it at all, so it wasn't adjustable. And as bad as I hate to, I'm gonna have to put bucket seats in it. So I come down to Darien this morning, got some bucket seats out of an S10. Jamie Galt, buddy down there, parts out a lot of vehicles. Messaged him last night. He said, "Yeah, I got some. I got 3 or 4 sets." So came down here this morning, and I come down here to get a different set. But I got down here, and I really like the way these look. Plan on taking the headrest off of them, but I don't really want them sticking up very high above the back glass. So yeah. Anyway, I gotta go to work now. So when I get off this afternoon, we'll go mock them dudes up, and then make them fit, and then get them to the upholstery, because they don't match. So see if Mr. Mike can get them recovered for me, and we'll go from there. All right, y'all. So I come in this afternoon and test fitted the seats in the truck. They fit. I'm gonna have to do some modifications, drill some holes, but the driver's side one actually fits right over the studs. The passenger side one, if I put it over the studs, it's like up against the drive shaft tunnel. So I'm gonna move it over towards the door about 1/2 inch and just drill some new holes. But I learned that the seats that I bought did in fact come out of an S10, but they did not originally come in an S10. They are Pontiac Sunfire seats. So they got a really cool look, and they're actually in pretty good shape. But me and my little one, I just picked her up from school. We headed over to Hazelhurst. We're gonna drop these things off. Got them back there somewhere. Drop them off of Mike, see about getting them reupholstered. Trying to get them over as early as I can. That way I got plenty of time, you know, to allow him to get them done, and I ain't got to rush him. So he done some stuff for me a couple years ago in my pink truck, and I kind kind of come down to the wire on it. And, I didn't really give him a whole lot of leeway time. I only give him like a couple weeks to, to do it. And I kind of rushed him, and I don't want to do that this time. I still got a couple months, so maybe we got plenty of time to get it done. What you think? You like them? Yeah.
They feel like the Impala. They sit like this.
Yeah, they sit really good. And they're really low. I'd like that. So I really want to keep the bench seat, but oh well. Things change. Part of building a project.
Yep.
So toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
All right, so I got my seats took to Mike today. We out here working. I got this panel here covering up the where that fresh air vent was. We got it all welded up solid. Got Bubby Bertram over there. He's doing all my weather stripping for me. He's working over in Jessup today. Stopped by to see us, and we're trying to get a game plan because he's fixing to build me a stereo to go in this thing. And while he was here, I put him to work. So, and he just broke my door panel. And then Chandler's over here. He's getting started on the dash tonight, doing the body work. What you got there, 40 grit?
Yeah.
Trying to get all this old paint off. It's hard as a rock, too, ain't it?
It is. It's got like powder coat.
So, cave it and pave it. Y'all don't look.
No, we gonna hammer and dolly.
Yeah, we're hammering dolly a little bit, but get this in primer, get it a little bit closer, and then when we finally pick out a final color, we'll show y'all what that is. But I'm gonna get back over here and keep marking stuff off this list. And I think we got to mark 2 things off today. So we're getting closer, getting closer. I think they were shot, dog. Very much so. OG 1989 right there. Hang on. I didn't tell them, but look at that box right over there. I asked a question on Facebook about what brand weather stripping, and Bubby told me Precision. Jonathan Wolf said that. Several other people told me to get Precision. Stay away from the LMC crap.
They suck.
So that's what I got. And so far it looks like it's going to be very nice. We'll bring you an update in an hour or two whenever he gets all this peeled out, because it's coming out in little bitty pieces. Chandler, how you doing?
I got rust all in my sinuses.
Oh, he ain't going to work tomorrow.
But we're gonna make it.
All right, let's get back at it. Oh, the concentration.
You gotta make sure this mud is spread evenly.
Tell them what you're using there.
That is kitty hair, short strand. So this junk is gonna get hard and strong, and it is not gonna crack.
That is, yeah, it's fiberglass reinforced filler. If you're not familiar with, it's not just regular body filler. So fill all these cracks in, and
good stuff.
Yeah, take some 40, 80 grit, whatever he wants to use, and knock it down, and then start doing the body filler.
So this stuff, 15 years in the future, it's still gonna look good.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be cracked up like most of the mini trucks you see.
Oh, easy now. I own some other mini trucks in the past.
Please get on here.
All right, let's go see what Bubby's doing. Bubby, what you doing?
Trying to line up these metal. You actually have metal brackets that go inside the weather stripping. You have to take them out the old one and reinstall them in the new one, and lining the holes back up with the weather stripping so I can get them bolted in. But so far so good. Got one in, working on the top one. Then I can start moving my way over here, get that bracket put into the front of the weather stripping, get it bolted in, and then I can start putting my outside sweeps, inside sweeps on the door panel, and put my glass in, and should be done. Put the door panel back on.
And he found out that the back bolt on the glass was loose. That's why sometimes when you roll the window down, it would fall down in the front, and I never fixed it because, well, you know, I didn't really care.
Well, we'll have it fixed now.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to go.
All right. I got the Acura valve block mounted and the controller for the E-level. Went ahead and mounted that. I got the old airlift setup off. Got it zip tied up. We can put it up on the shelf. So when Javier gets ready to do his truck, we'll have it. Keep on grinding. All right, so last night when we were out here, Chandler was working on the dash and Bubby was working on the window molding. I got in here and cut this this square out to do the wiring harness plug. And I was originally going to try to mount it over behind the fender, but I just didn't really have the room that I wanted. And this, you know, it gets everything right behind the motor and kind of hid. But once I got this plug in there, the corner of this plug right here was hitting this hard line on the back of the motor that goes over to the vacuum booster. And I didn't want to try to modify that in any way. So I cut the square back out. And I got up here this morning and cut me a piece of sheet metal 1 inch wide. Put it in a little break there, broke it around, and hang on, let me see. So I made a little pocket, and I'm going to weld this together, and then I'm going to weld it in the firewall. That way the plug, the outside plug, will be 1 inch farther into the firewall, which is about all that I could really. I measured it out before I started, and it's about all the room I really had. So recess it in 1 inch before the wire and stuff started hitting the firewall. And then on the inside, I had plenty of room around the fuse box. So this is gonna fix my issue. I didn't want to leave it like it was, and then the motor moving around would rub through it eventually, and I'd have electrical issues. So like I said, we're just gonna make this little pocket. I'm fixing to stitch weld all this together and get it ready to weld in, and on to the next project. All right, so I got this welded all together, and yes, I know it's not square. I left a little bit of room around where the screws went in. And then I stuck it up with the firewall, and I cut the hole out, so it needed to stay square so that it would line back up with the hole I had already cut. So I just welded it on the outside and ground it, and then on the inside, I'm just gonna leave it alone when it's all getting bed linered. So actually, I may tape this off and just paint it, because I don't want the bed liner to get in the way of the plug going on. But regardless, the plug's gonna pretty much fill that entire hole up, so you can't see in there to see if it's bed linered or painted. So it doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna let that cool off for a few minutes because it got kind of hot. And then I'm gonna stick it here in the firewall, tack it in, and keep on rolling. I'm just gonna tack it in. I'm not gonna completely weld it because the motor's right, the wiring harness and all is right there on the other side. So when I pull the cab back off, I'll weld it and metal finish it. So, but I want to mock it up, make sure it's gonna work first. So. That's pretty.
I'd charge you for it.
5 hours later. Actually, 2 days later.
Oh man, I was gonna say 5 days.
Y'all check this fitment out on this window. It's nice. So tight the window won't roll down hardly.
Oh, that's good.
Had to put the little clips, little plastic clips to go in there. We had to go to the parts store and get those. But oh, it's good. Should be a lot quieter than what it was before.
Thank God.
Hey, you can see me. Can you see you? Oh, you can't see you. Hey, y'all check this out. Gulf Coast Commodores. Dan's kid signed today her college scholarship for volleyball. She's moving to Panama here in a few months, and Dan's going to be all alone and sad.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's good also. So.
Yeah.
I'll keep him company.
All right, get back to work. All right, so Dylan was over here the other night with me, and talking to him, I was like, where would you put the battery at on this truck? And we looked around a little bit, and the factory battery was here. Oh, sorry, had to sneeze. Factory battery was up here on the inner fender, and he said, man, I'd go to Walmart and get one of them batteries like I put in my boat. I was like, what is it? So this is it. It was a Noco lithium, 5-year warranty, 700 cranking amps. Turn it around. And tell them how heavy this battery is.
It weighs less than me.
Obviously. But
It's very light.
very light. We're going to try to mount that up there at the bottom on the core support. Out of the way and superheated. Maybe it'll work. Bubby has his doubts.
It's going to work.
So, all right, I'm going to get that mounted, and it's about time to pull this cab back off. Yeah, that's when stuff really happens. Paint, powder coat, missing bolts, all the real stuff.
A lot of missing stuff.
We're making some pretty good progress on this S10. Bubby came over a couple days and He got all this window molding in on the driver's side. I showed you that already. Fits great. And once again, this is Precision brand. Come highly recommended. So, yeah, that looks way better than this crap. Chandler's doing mud work on the dash. That's coming along pretty well. I got my new battery. This is a NOCO lithium battery, 700 cranking amps, and it weighs about 2 pounds. I mean, it is super light. So I got a Speedway Motors battery box here. I'm chopping it up to make this fit. I'll show y'all in the next video how we do that. But this video is getting kind of long when I started editing. Figured I better cut it off here. It don't look like much. Looks like it's tore all to pieces, but it's coming along. So we're actually marking stuff off the list there and getting close. I got a truck on my lift here I'm lowering. Had a lift kit on it, has some 35s on it. And we're doing a drop kit. 4/6. Already got the front on. Fixing to spin this thing around. But once I get this truck done, that's all the customer work that I had promised out. And it's wide open on the S10 till that thing's done. So these videos fixing to come fast. Also, check this thing out. Took John's van back to him yesterday, and he said this truck, the front wasn't picking up, so we went over, got it picked up, put it on the trailer, brought it back, put it on the lift, and got it working. And might do a feature on this truck. Wash it up, clean it up. If y'all want to see that, let me know. But I appreciate y'all watching. Every time y'all come in and check, man, I appreciate it. Y'all keep coming back, watching these videos. Still got a bunch going on. If you don't subscribe to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, please. I don't preach on that a whole lot, but thank each and every one of y'all for watching.